Previously, I had mentioned that we took a short family trip to Mexico, and that I would likely only share it with the members of the inner circle as the content involved so much of our children. However, after editing the almost 40-minute video, I felt that it was a shame not to share my favorite cultural part of the trip with you all. So here's a condensed version, focusing on our day trip to one of the new 7 wonders of the world, a 1,500-year-old Mayan ruin located in the heart of the Yucatan Peninsula's jungle. We learned some fascinating history, and I hope you enjoy it as much as we did. So we recently took a trip to Mexico. Morning.
You can pack your bags, cause we're headed on vacation. Throw them in the back, on to our destination. Don't forget your toothbrush, and you don't need no.
Where are we at, guys?
Mexico!
Mexico.
Headed on a road trip, let's go, let's go. Washing every town we dip on past. You're in charge of the tunes, just skip the ones that make the time just fly on by, by, by.
Second traffic circle on the right.
Okay.
Left and right.
All right. Thank you.
So why Mexico? I'm gonna give you all a quick peek into my brain when we plan trips. If this kind of talk bores you, all the nerdy geeking out stuff, you can jump ahead. But for the rest of you, this is why we ended up in Mexico. We like to aim for a family getaway every year, but we do have a criteria most of the time. We want to have our tickets covered by credit card points. We want most of our lodging covered and possibly our transportation. If those 3 major things can be covered, we feel guilt-free in going because we're not spending a lot of money out of pocket. And one of the ways we do this is we like to plan ahead and maybe take advantage of credit card bonuses to rack up a lot of points quickly. Having said that, here was the plan. My husband and I have not been on a getaway together alone, just the 2 of us, since 2020, I believe. And we are just itching to get away on another honeymoon. So we had some plans of where we might be able to go, and if I could rack up enough points and get enough credit card bonuses with Hilton, we thought that would be a perfect option. So we started the process, we signed up for some Hilton cards, and they give you free night bonuses. And now you can use these free nights pretty much anywhere on certain locations. You can use them on basic hotels here in the States that might cost $200 a night, or you can use them on a basic room in some of their high-end resorts or areas that might cost $800 to $1,500 a night. So we're like, hey, let's do that. So last year we signed up for the credit cards, started the process of earning the points, and as we were looking into possible places to go for my husband and I, we started to realize how hampered we were with Hilton. We are not hotel people. We don't like to travel and have to specifically go to specific areas simply because we wanted to go to a Hilton, and we began to realize that the value for what we were needing to spend to earn the points just wasn't quite there. Now, we don't know if the 2 of us will be able to do a trip this year or not. But having said that, we sat down and we decided, you know what, this Hilton thing is not going to work out with the style of traveling we like to do. How can we best utilize these free nights? Because we had to use them up as they were going to run out. They expired, I think, this year, and we had a few nights. He and I just aren't resort people, which is where you get the most value from your free nights. And if him and I are planning to go somewhere alone together without children slowing us down, we're going to want to go cultural and exploring and go into all the nooks and crannies and history and so much fun things. And the thought of having to sit at a place and do nothing almost drives us crazy. So we were like, okay, let's plan a quick family getaway, and this will be more for the children. So we needed to use up our free Hilton nights. And then we had also saved up points with American Airlines, so we had some free-ish tickets. And then with some other points from our Capital One Venture card. I know this sounds so complicated. I've been doing this for years. But anyway, let's just say we had a hodgepodge of points that we were able to pull together and basically have a free family vacation. But as we talked it over, we were like, this is perfect to go to with young children. So we decided to look around for an all-inclusive property, which means all your food is included with your night. For the children, it's everything. So no extra cost. And there was only a few options, and we had to call around, and we found only one location over the same dates that we needed over Xander's school break, and that happened to be in the area of Tulum, Mexico. We flew into Cancun, and then we drove about an hour and a half south to more the Tulum area. That's where the resort was. we arrived and I didn't even know how to act. They met you with these cold rolled up towels and they gave it to you with like tongs. Lexi got one, Xander got one. I didn't get a video of all this. There's so much happening all at once. We walked into this big, open, welcoming area. It was beautiful. They took your luggage, they had valets to take your car, and you were just pampered. I'm not used to being pampered like this. I just didn't know how to act, and we were like travel weary, and I felt disgusting and gross, and anyway, and then they whisk you away once you got signed in, all the things. They explain the resort, they whisk you away to your room.
I'm gonna put the luggage at the front so you can ride in the middle and the back.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm taking the back.
You're taking the back. Where do you want to sit?
Lexi.
I can sit with, you want me to sit with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I could literally just hop off and run if I wanted to.
You could, huh?
Should I?
No. Thank
Guys,
you.
have a good time and enjoy your stay. Thank
All
you so
right,
much.
thank you so
I'll see
much.
around.
I appreciate it.
I need to get this balcony.
Woohoo! Look at this, the ocean.
The ocean! Use the baselines for water swimming.
One thing that really took us back when we got to the resort, we were walking along and suddenly I heard a scream from Xander. What happened, Xander?
Sounds like a big old monster, like
Where is he?
he's in there somewhere.
He's right there. See his tail? Oh my goodness. That is a big old iguana.
Scary. He scared me.
He did scare you.
Scared me out of my.
He had almost stumbled upon one of these huge iguanas. I mean, these guys were big and they would like sit out along the path, sunning themselves, and then dart into the bushes or whatever. And it was the first time he happened to see one. I didn't catch that on video, but it was so funny. He just gave this ginormous shriek, and that was our first experience seeing an iguana. And that ended up being one of the highlights for the children. We would go out and see if we could find them sunning on the rocks. There was huge ones, there was little ones. And so it became a game where we could find iguanas. Is the next one along the trail? Where are they all hiding? Anyway, they would be like around the bath towels sometimes when you were going to the pool. They would be out along the edge of the pavilion where we were eating. Yeah, it was so interesting.
Hey, there's another one.
Oh my goodness.
Could you and Lexi go in the sky? Well, I just want to stay here with the lizard.
Our time at the resort was spent mostly in the family area where there was a super cool kids splash pad that rarely had people in it, a pool, a nice playground, and lucky for us, our favorite eating spot was also in the family area. Nothing beats eating in an outdoor dining area right by the water. Oh, what do you want? Go to the pool. Go to the pool.
I want to go
Swimming. As I was relaxing beside the pool, I suddenly saw this odd-looking creature with a ringed tail come out of the bushes and walk to the edge of the pool. I shouted for Xander to come, and the chase began. Hurry, come look. Come look. See his tail?
No.
Right there. Huh? See the tail?
The cat? Or that?
What is it? There it goes. Over here.
Dad, it's coming. It's coming your way.
There it is. No, right there. What is it? It's that same thing as it's on the picture. However, it got away before he got a good look at it. But we were soon to find out that these little furry critters were everywhere on the resort, always on the prowl for leftover scraps. He went flying in the bushes. Oh, there he is. Okay.
Look, yeah.
It's a quaddy.
Can I run after him?
Just walk slow.
I want it. I did it. I want it.
The name? Quaddy. It is a member of the raccoon family found in the Americas, particularly in Central and South America, but also some parts of the southwestern United States. And it's known for its long snout and ringed tail. I had never heard of them before, so we found them quite fascinating anytime we ran into one. So in conclusion, Nolan and I looked at each other after this whole experience and we were like, would we do this again? And we both agreed that we would not. So the pros of an all-inclusive resort: you have your room, you have your food, all included. It's amazing for children because you get to do nap times, you just get to sort of stay on a schedule. Nothing's rushed. They have the big splash pad, they have the pool. But speaking of that, the downside of that, we are not fans of public pools, and especially the crowds that come with them. But one thing we were fortunate of, depending what time of day you went, it wasn't super full, so that was really nice. There was also an area that we could go out, kind of play in the waves in the ocean. No one was there. And the splash pad was often completely empty. So that was a big plus at this particular resort. I know most of them are just crowded. That is a big con and why we likely will never go back to another one again. The cons of staying: number one, it's crowded and a lot of people. We lucked out and we could kind of work around crowds there. Second one is you're basically stuck on the premises unless you pay to leave. Another downside, I personally don't really care to go to another country and be stuck in an Americanized version of home. All that aside, our biggest con is that we just like to go out and explore, do our own thing, see the locals, see the culture, eat at different spots, and just experience the country for what it is. And resorts have none of that. You just fly there, you're in your little bubble, and you fly home. However, this is maybe coming across a little bit entitled. I don't mean that at all. I'm just saying this is not our preference, and the only reason we went to a resort was because of the free nights, and we were able to get free food and basically a whole family vacation for free, and a place for the children to go and play and have fun. That was the majority of our trip, and then the highlight, Chichen Itza. Got a donut. Let's keep walking. Okay.
Yeah, tons of water.
Buenos dias. Good morning from the Yucatan Peninsula. We got up super early this morning, 5:30, and we are driving 2.5 hours to one of the new wonders of the world, I believe. We went to Chichen Itza. This is a big Mayan ruin. I think it's one of the wonders of the world, or at least one of the ancient wonders of the world. And there was just so much fascinating history about it. We had been learning about it before we went. We wanted to give Xander and the children the experience. Xander loved it. Xander's excited to see it. Aren't you, bud?
Yeah.
Okay. We got our own car. How's driving in Mexico?
It's not too bad. A lot of potholes.
I'm really enjoying getting out and seeing real Mexico. So when we came to Mexico, we decided to rent a car. We heard it's fairly safe as far as the driving goes, but we're a little bit worried about police stops and so on because they aren't so trustworthy down here. They try to get tourists and they try to bribe you and so on. So we're really hoping we don't get stopped. Nolan was a little trepidatious, but it was much cheaper just to rent a car, drive down the 1.5 hours from Cancun to Tulum area where we're staying, and then we also want to go to Chichen Itza. That's a 2.5 hour drive one way. So we got a car and we're driving in Mexico, and I'm really enjoying seeing everything. And yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were sleeping.
No.
are almost there. The reason we got up so early was trying to avoid the crowds and get there right at 8 when they open. It's going to be like 8:15 or so till we get there. So we were hoping that we beat the majority of the crowds and also beat the heat and then be able to get back in time to just enjoy some of the rest of the day back. But this has been a super interesting drive. You see it? This is awesome. Look at that.
There's someone clapping. Huh? I'm looking at one of the 7 wonders of the world. Woo, this is cool.
This is amazing. Chichen Itza was founded by the Maya, an ancient people native to the Yucatan Peninsula, and it's one of the largest Mayan cities ever built. The growth and development of Chichen Itza spans several centuries, and most estimates put the city at well over 1,500 years old. The tallest structure in Chichen Itza is the ancient pyramid El Castillo, otherwise known as the Pyramid of Kukulkan, which means feathered serpent in Spanish. These carvings of a feathered serpent head represent Quetzalcoatl, known to the Maya as Kukulkan. Quetzalcoatl is a combination of the words Quetzali, which means tail feather of the quetzal bird, and Coatl, meaning snake. This feathered serpent is one of the major deities of the Mesoamerican religions. The pyramid is designed in such a way that when you clap at the base of the pyramid staircase, it produces an echo that mimics the call of the quetzal bird. Hey. That's pretty cool. Can you tell me what happens when you clap?
It makes a sound. I'm forgetting which bird.
Like their bird. I forget what the bird is now.
Me neither. Oh, you can hear it.
One of the fascinating things about this, it was built as their calendar. Anyway, so this pyramid functions as an architectural marvel and an ancient calendar. Each of its 4 sides contains 91 steps, and with the platform at the top, they total 365 steps, one for each day of the year. This is really interesting, right? Twice a year over the solstice, it's lined up perfectly so that the shadow of these steps goes against that wall. And it looks like a slithering snake. See where I'm at? One of the most captivating aspects of El Castillo is its alignment with the spring and autumn equinoxes. During these events, sunlight creates a shadow that resembles a serpent slithering down the pyramid steps, symbolizing the descent of the feathered serpent god Kukulkan. Now, I love being able to take our children to sites such as this, teaching them about ancient cultures firsthand. This brought up some interesting discussions with Xander about religions, people's desire to worship deities, the sadness of people worshiping false gods, and that there is only one true God. And unlike these false gods that were constantly needing to be appeased, the one true God loves us so much that he desires to have a relationship with us. Walking through a place like this brings so many emotions and thought-provoking discussions. Whoa!
I'm guessing that was either a bench or...
This looks like a little chapel or something.
I think so.
I want to see that. Mom, would you like to
Yeah,
put
don't
that?
sit on it, Lexi.
A bed. That's a bed.
It does
That's
look like
either
a bed.
or a table or a chair.
Oh, we talked to Dad. You're so hot. Do you want more drink? Let's go in the shade. The Great Ball Court in Chichen Itza is the largest ball court in Mesoamerica. One of the most remarkable features of the ball court is its acoustics. A whisper at one end of the court can be heard clearly on the other, an architectural feat that remains a mystery.
We're at the ball court, and they had these rings, which are over here and here, that they try to use sticks or
Their hips, I think.
hips, yeah.
Maybe some other things.
Yeah, some other things. And then whoever lost, the captain of that would die.
Evidence suggests that the game was linked to human sacrifice, as depicted in the carvings along the court's wall. Some scholars believe that the losing team, or sometimes the victorious captain, was sacrificed to the gods as an offering to ensure divine favor. However, we don't know this for certain, and others say that this was likely not a frequent occurrence or didn't happen at all. Either way, it's rather chilling. Sander, can you show me what you got?
It's a whistle. I'm forgetting what bird it's called, but it's
Quetzal, I believe.
Yeah, Quetzal. It sounds like this.
That's pretty neat. Yeah, don't let I often like to say, don't choose your vacation, but let your vacation choose you. And by doing that, I mean if you aren't set on a certain place to go, and even a specific time, but if you can be so flexible on where you go and what time you go, you can have so much more of an inexpensive trip. If you are a longtime follower of this channel, you know my love of hacking credit cards and points and getting trips for practically free. It just gives me a high. It's like my hobby. So I often insert it a little bit in our travel videos to explain how this trip came about and how that one. And if you're like me, I really enjoy hearing that when I'm watching someone else's video, like, hey, I want to hear your hacks and how you got there and how you made it work. Because for most of us, if we have to pay out of pocket, it definitely won't happen, or at least it won't happen very often. So that's how we get to travel as a family. You want to go back home? No, why not? We can't stay at the pool all the time.